Hi Monica. In this presentation, I'll discuss the role that early childhood educators can play in facilitating the development and learning of multiliteracy in children using modern teaching pedagogies. I will use two peer-reviewed articles, the 2018 research of Yelland on technology and multiliteracies and the 2020 study of spatial and material design by Hackett and Somerville. I will tie my discussions to social cultural learning and multimodality theories, as well as to several other major policy documents, such as the EYLF Early Years Learning Framework version 2.0 and the National Quality Standards of ESICWA. The concept of multiliteracies by the New London Group in 1996 helps to recall that literacy today is far more than just reading and writing. Children use images, sounds, gestures, motions, and digital technologies to communicate. This implies that the educators should expose the children to a broad spectrum of experiences that capture the reality of how the children make sense in the 21st century. The article that I'll discuss first is by Yelland 2018, which investigates the role of technology in the multiliteracy development of children. There are four main elements that stand out. To start with, technology enables children to receive and integrate modes of communication like drawing, sound, and movement into one creative work. As an example, in a preschool, children may use tablet application to retell a favorite story where they record their own voices, add digital illustrations, and choose sound effects to complement the story. This is a part of multimodality theory of CRISP. This is directly connected to outcome 5 of the EYLF, which states that the children become confident communicators when they work with variety of texts and technologies. Secondly, tablets encourage the collaboration and teamwork. Children tend to cooperate in device-making decisions and resolving issues. This is related to the social-cultural theory of learning by Vygotsky, which highlights social interaction in learning. It also helps ESICWA to employ Quality Area 1 that promotes the role of collaborative learning. Thirdly, the digital narrative fosters identity and autonomy development. Children are proud of what they have created and they tend to show it with confidence with peers as well as educators. This creates a sense of identity and this correlates with the EYLF outcome 1. Drury and colleagues in 2019 also noted that multiliteracies can facilitate the expression of diverse cultural and linguistic identities in inclusive ways. Lastly, Yelland reminds us of difficulties. The access of devices is not provided equally, and not every educator is confident about using them. Tablets can easily become entertainment devices rather than literacy devices without training. It is at this step that professional learning, a coherence observed, comes in. The second article that I'm going to discuss is the article by Hackett and Somerville 2020, which also explores multiliteracies of space and matter in early childhood setting. In the second article, the discussion is about multiliteracies outside of the digital context. Their study examines the way in which educators create learning conditions and resources to facilitate multiliteracy activities. First, they focus on the environment as the third teacher in the Reggio Emilia approach. Space and materials, including blocks, fabrics, and natural objects, are a source of meaning-making. For example, in an early childhood setting, a block corner where children build buildings and use fabrics and create stories around spaces. This is associated with the Quality Area 3 of ESICWA, which deals with the physical environment that contribute to the learning. Second, spatial design encourages action and inquiry. Educators also reorganize an outdoor play space that has loose materials like logs, stones, and pipes and invite children to exercise the ability to move, balance, and narrate stories about the worlds that they have created. Children reorient spaces, relocate materials, and come up with the narratives. This demonstrates the ecological system theory of Bronfenbrenner, which demonstrate how development is influenced by the microsystem of the immediate environment. It is also related to the EYLF outcome 4, in which children become confident and engaged learners. Additionally, Hackett and Somerville note that meaning making in early childhood is not only limited to verbal or written language, but is also performed in the gestures, movements, and expressions of children and the materials through their interaction with objects, spaces, and resources. As an example, in a group activity, children can dance, use hand gestures, or dress up to provide meaning through dance, hand signs, and role play, demonstrating the extension of literature off print or screen. These can be well explained by Chris in his multimodality theory, which helps us to see literacy as a broader sense beyond paper and screens. Furthermore, Hackett and Somerville demonstrate that educators are to be creators of multiliterature spaces. This could imply taking thought on how the environment embrace creativity, which is in line with the SCQA Quality Area 1 on intentional planning. According to Cortez, Loyola, and colleagues 2020, the spatial design thinking of educators leads directly to the multiliteracy practices. Finally, the difficulties in adopting multiliteracy practices and the necessity to create culturally diverse, inclusive, and sustainable learning environments. This may also involve the use of traditional fabrics, musical instrument, or storytelling tools that are the part of families' culture so that children can see themselves reflected in the learning environment. In case spaces are represented by the dominant cultures only, children might not see themselves reflected in their lives, and unless these aspects are considered, multiliteracy pedagogies can perpetuate inequalities or exclude some group of children. In the 2012 guide, Child Australia emphasizes that inclusive and culturally responsive environments are crucial to achieve by welcoming talks with families. Having summarized the main points of both articles, I'm now going to offer a critical reflection on the strengths, challenges, and implications for early childhood practice. Collectively, these two articles demonstrate the merits of modern multiliteracy pedagogies. Technology enables children to participate in multimodal communication, and the spatial and material design justifies embodied and cultural literacies. The two strategies encourage child agency and are consistent with the holistic vision of the EYLF. However, challenges exist. Digital equity and teacher training are persistent interest in the use of technology, and spatial design needs time, resources, and cultural sensitivity. These two methods require deliberate learning and teaching. Firstly, the educators should engage in continuous professional development in order to be able to incorporate technology and design environments. In addition, intentionality is important. Literacy does not just develop out of the interactions with devices and materials. It demands the deliberate planning, as Fellows and Oakley suppose. Following that, family involvement is necessary. As an illustration, the invitation of families to bring the home digital photographs as well as material with cultural meaning will enable educators to use the lived experiences of children in literacy. The inclusion of families, including the culturally and linguistically diverse ones, will guarantee that the practices of multiliteracy reflect the experiences that children live. To sum up, multiliteracy pedagogies play a crucial role in early childhood education nowadays. The work by Yellen demonstrates how the digital technologies may enhance the communication, collaboration, and identity, whereas Hackett and Somerville demonstrates the importance of space and material environment in shaping the literacy learning as well. These pedagogies are based on such theories as Vygotsky's approach-based sociocultural theory, Cree's multimodal theory, and Bernfeld-Berner's ecological system theory, and are in line with the standards of EYLF and SCQA, as children are equipped to engage in multimodal diverse meaning making in the world. The dilemma of educators is to be both deliberate and creative in the adoptions of both digital and material literacies. In doing this, they will be able to offer rich experiences that will support the multiliteracy development of every child in a manner that will be equitable, engaging, and future-oriented. Thank you.